These examples of art are just some of the works that have been returned to the rightful owners in the recent years. Although it is not common to hear of artwork being removed from a museum and being returned to the rightful owners, recent examples will prove that this will become more common in the coming years. The Triptych of the Crucifixion by Roger van der Weyden, a Flemish artist, has 3 separate panels and is depicting the scene of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. This piece of art did not always have 3 separate panels, but instead were just panels that were painted on to appear to be separate. It was not until after the artist died that the art was separated and the hinges were added. This scene is extremely religious and goes along well with the current period of art. Roger van der Weyden painted many religious pieces, and this one was his most famous.
Man kann nicht dem untreu werden, was einem ganzen Leben Inhalt, Sinn und Zweck gegeben hat. Es will nicht so etwas aus nichts, wenn diesem Werde nicht ein großer Befehl zugrunde liegt. Und den Befehl gab uns kein...
After Germany fell to Nazi rule, many Jewish families were forced to leave and sell their belongings, including works of art, so they could flee to other countries. This is precisely what happened to the family who owned the Triptych of the Crucifixion by Roger van der Weyden. The Bromberg family fled to Paris from Germany in late 1938 and were forced to sell the 16th century Triptych of the Crucifixion depicting Christ on the cross the following year, along with several other paintings they owned, so they could get to the United States via Switzerland. This was incredibly common among Jewish families attempting to leave the horrible conditions in Germany.
Much of the art taken from Jewish families was intended to stock Adolf Hitler's planned museum in Linz, Austria.
They take everything, starting with the old masters all the way down to the china teacups.
These images show the descendants of the Jewish Bromberg family with pieces of art that were returned, including the Triptych of the Crucifixion. Before the artwork was returned, it was housed in France unclaimed. It was a triumph that the unclaimed art was returned to the rightful owners, and it will now lie in the family's hands after decades of its whereabouts, unknown to the family.
Restitution gives a person the right to reclaim paintings that were sold under duress.
These are just a few of the thousands of pieces of art that are still missing today. These pieces of art are ones that were most likely looted by Nazis or even destroyed. Now that more artwork is being returned, it is important that we place our focus on finding lost art and returning them to their descendants or the rightful owners. With the advanced technology we have today, the return of lost art can become more common if we place value and importance on the subject. The return of artwork is like cause and effect. If one piece of art gets returned, the effect is that other works of art can be returned in the future as well. The return of this artwork will be a catalyst for other pieces of art that were stolen, sold, or damaged by Nazis that are still housed in museums around the world today. Already in 2018, since the return of the Triptych of the Crucifixion in February, there have been numerous works of art returned. As more pieces get returned, this concept will no longer seem far-fetched. This is necessary for the damages suffered by the Jewish peoples during this horrendous time in Germany and areas affected by the Hitler regime. The return of artwork is a concept that needs attention and advocacy, and in the future, more pieces of art will be returned to their rightful homes.